Steelers.
Take the under 40.5. Pittsburgh's got too much pride and too much talent to look like they look in week one defensively. They're going to play with their hair on fire defensively. Mike Tomlin had to be humiliated by that. They have too many good players. And Seattle's offense, it's not going to be a high-powered offense. It's a run-first offense. They don't have a number one receiver. And under Mike McDonald, 8 of the 18 games, 20 points or fewer. So last week's Seattle game, that's what Seattle's going to look like. They're going to keep teams in the 23 to 20 range, and they're not going to score a ton of points. That's not what they are. They don't have the perimeter weapons. So I think Sam Darnold struggled in his last couple of games, come back down to earth. Take the under 40.5 points. This feels very 2017, 21-17. I like Seattle to win, but take the under 40.5 points.
Yeah, this is actually a really important game to me for the Seattle Seahawks. I believe that their defense should be great, a top defense in the NFL. And if that's the case, you should be able to slow down a quarterback who's minutes away from retiring, who's got a little timer on his clock that's like, oh man, is my alarm about to go off? I got to retire soon, right? Like, it's just like he just keeps trying to push it back and just hit the snooze. 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. And a defense that is tough, physical, fast, electric, suffocating should be able to make Aaron Rodgers look like a 55-year-old quarterback. And that's what I'm looking for more than anything in this game. You guys know that when I do these clips, I don't pay attention to anything about the over-under or the points or this, that. Like, we just use it as a jumping off point for like a prediction and to discuss the game. And so you can see Colin's got the Seahawks winning 2,117. I mean, you want to see the offense be more productive. It's tough. They don't have it all there. Sam Darnold definitely was not in the best spot to really wheel and deal. I think it was a tough week, one game in terms of the matchup, who they were facing, the defense they were facing. And now it is going to be interesting going up against the Steelers, because there's a sense that, like, hey, the Steelers defense should be great. Hey, it's Mike Tomlin. But then Justin Fields lit them up, and you're like, all right, well, that's interesting. How did that come about? And although Sam Darnold's clearly not Justin Fields in terms of mobility, Sam Darnold can still move. Sam Darnold can still move with his legs, and Sam Darnold could obviously let it rip with the best of them. So I'm curious to see what the offensive game plan is going to look like and what conclusions they're going to draw from watching how the Steelers defense played against the Jets. That I'm really curious to see, what are they going to look to do with Sam Darnold? And is Sam Darnold going to use his legs more than you would typically see? Like, I'm really fascinated by what Clint Kubiak is what the game plan is going to be. But to me, more than anything, because that could have just been a one-off Steelers defensive game, especially going up against a Justin Fields who essentially they benched him and then said, they didn't really want him back necessarily. And so there was a lot of bad blood there, and players and teams always rise to that occasion to ball out. It's why we saw 2 great games by Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields, because they both wanted to beat each other very badly. And, like I said, players do often rise to that occasion, and teams rally behind those individuals trying to help that. You don't have this narrative as much here. Obviously, you do a little bit with DK, but it's a little different in that regard. Especially because it's not like the Seahawks were just like, we hate DK Metcalf, we want nothing to do with him. Like, that wasn't necessarily the case, obviously. So I'm curious to see what this defense brings and what the defense looks like for the Steelers, because if there's no strong sense that this Steelers defense is a top 10 defense or that they're playing great, then I expect Sam Darnold and this offense with Clint Kubiak to be able to get after it. Like if Justin Fields and that Jets offense, it wasn't this whole rising to the occasion type thing, and the Steelers defense can be exposed because they're just an older, slower defense, then I expect the Seattle Seahawks to not struggle, not to look ugly offensively. And I look to see Sam Darnold, like I said, to use his legs to be mobile and to not have to be overtly aggressive, and really just comfortably will and deal in a way You know, not exactly because the Packers have a lot more firepower here, but like in a lot of ways, like kind of how comfortable Jordan Love was against the Washington Commanders on Thursday. And this defense, I guess we'll stick with the Packers comparison. Like the defense was able to really slow down Jaden Daniels, and there was just nowhere for him to go with the ball, and then there was nowhere to go with from him from a mobility standpoint. And so it's just like I'm just expecting there many moments to be like, I hope Aaron Rodgers can stand up after that, or like, oh man, this is Aaron Rodgers is definitely questioning why he decided to come back this time. You know, this season again, like I'm expecting those moments. And if you don't get them, it would be frustrating. It would be harder for me to just say, you got to give it up. That's Aaron, man, still a Hall of Famer, still an all-time great. I mean, like it's on the table, but it's just you're going to have to be really close to see how you draw some of these conclusions. So, um, I'm just I always knew, or I always anticipated this Seattle Seahawks being a defensive team, but still have an offense that can get it done with Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold. That was a massive selling point for me. But in games like this, when you're not going up against a young high-powered offense, right? Like an Eagles or a Ravens or Bills type team, it's like then I'm expecting the defense to just really show why they're worthy of saying we're a Seattle Seahawks defense, right? Like that's what I'm looking for. That's what this opportunity is on the platter for them. And so that's just what I'm looking for more than anything. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, honestly. Because it will tell me a lot. It will tell me a lot about what should my expectations be for the Seattle Seahawks team as a whole, and what the season should, you know, what it could possibly look like, because the door's open. The 49ers are dealing with their injuries like they're the door's wide open, man. Wide open. Wide open. Wide open. So, and this is a game that you absolutely have to get after. Have this. This is as a must-win as it possibly can be. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Seattle Seahawks beating the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.